obviously, probably everyone knows who I am, but for those that don't know, my name's Matty Bowden, from Marburg. I run the hotel for a living and have done for a long time. Proud Ipswich and Marburg boy, but yeah, 40 years. Parents have owned the hotel, so I do that now. But basically, been involved with the boys here at Switch On since we started, I suppose. And I don't know, really like to get on board with this Minor Star initiative that they're doing. I'm pretty sure everyone's had a few mental demons in their time, and probably like to tell a bit of my story, I suppose. I had a few setbacks lately, and try to help you through it. So.
Bowdy, you're a bit of a child prodigy in the day, mate, on the sporting field. Tell us about your sporting interests and how that helped you form part of your friendships today.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. I'm one of those players that are probably older you get, the better you were, mate. To be honest, I probably peaked at 12. It's probably leading sportsman in Ipswich when I was 12. Cricket and footy, I suppose, or whatever. Actually, brilliant sprinter telling me, Dave. But as I said, sport's been a massive part of my life. As I said, great friendships I still hold now, and that's what obviously with Brad and the Hillier boys, even Grant. But yeah, sport's been a massive part of my life.
And Matt, talking family, mate, you're multi-generational pub at the Marburg pub. You're a proud Bowden man. Also, you've got a little daughter these days, Miller. Tell us how that's changed your life.
No, definitely, mate. It's definitely changed things for my life. To be honest, she's probably everything. You probably don't understand what they do for you until you have your own. This is even the respect for your parents. Like you don't until you have your own children, you probably don't respect your own parents as much as what they've done for you in your whole life. So that's obviously this year's been horrendous for a lot of businesses with this COVID, and especially in my game, I suppose, hospitality, with all being pubs and the clubs are shut. But to be honest with you, my business has really gone leaps and bounds, which has been an amazing asset in this.
How did you change?
To be honest, mate, I was heartbroken because I haven't really been doing too well out there, and I come home and kicked a few stones. I thought this is the finish of me, but I just thought have a go. So I had to change the business model straight away. I just overnight to think, what can I do? Obviously, I couldn't open the bar. That was the total ban on that. I had no bottle shop, so the only thing I had was food. And I was lucky enough. A lot of I always explain it like the Forrest Gump movie, I suppose, when with the shrimp it was just no one. There was so many fish, there's so many trawlers out there, and all of a sudden there's none. So that happened to me, thing. Like all the local pubs around decided no food, and just me and Plainland. So basically, I went from doing 30 to 50 covers a night to 150 to 200. So it just, I don't know, can be luck, but it was probably, a little bit of, marketing and.
Do you also think, Matt, being someone who's seen your parents work hard and battle their whole lives, and a bit of that Ipswich pride, Ipswich ticker, and Ipswich resilience, is that something that you well, you had nothing to lose, mate, so you had to have a go?
Probably both, mate. But at first, I honestly thought it was people feeling sorry for me. To be honest, I thought, not saying I'm pretty well known. I thought people and I saw people that come to get meals off me that have never been in the hotel for 5, 10, 15 years, and even local mates and supporters like Ben coming out from Ipswich. But and it's just continued. And as I said, it's probably a good story feeling out of 2020, to be honest. So just is what it is, mate.
And what do you see with the future for the pub, Matt, and your role and balancing family and personal fulfilment? How does that all work?
Oh yeah, exactly, mate. So it's a good little family run business at the moment. It's probably the difference between, I've worked at some bigger places and bigger clubs, and I can come and go at the moment, and obviously spend time with my daughter, my family, and but mate, it's a sleeping giant there at Marburg. To be honest, it's pubs are a little bit different at the moment, and as you can see, probably Ipswich and surrounding areas, it's more food based. So that's what we can do, mate. I think the days of drinking in the pubs are nearly gone these days. So they were uncertain about their jobs as well, mate. So basically, when that happened, I called a meeting straight away and just explained the situation, that obviously being told that, directions from where you have to close, but I told them of my idea that I wanted to achieve, and I'd start with a couple of staff, and obviously no promises, but basically I called them every day, every second day, to see how they were going and help them out. I sort of, offered, if you had needed something, I'm more than willing to help them if they needed food, whatever. But yeah, and offered. I have a bit of a thing in my workplace agreement where there's opportunity to call someone like Mindstar, or after a week I was back to full normal with nearly my whole staff except for a couple of cleaners. So
wow.
It's just offering help. As I said, you can't operate a business without staff, and I'm pretty proactive about that.
What do you do to help your own well-being, and when you're down and feeling the pressure and weight of the world on your shoulders to pay the bills and to pay your staff and to look after the legacy of the Bowden pub? How do you handle those moments?
Good question, Brad. Well, as I stated before, I think you got to put yourself around good people and get good advice of people. Obviously, I rely on speaking to you, Brad, at Zamet Bulow, like a lot of business stuff. Like, as I said, we probably have a lot of late night calls. I try to call you sometimes, probably out of hours, because I know you're such a busy man. But I think you need to ask advice, especially people you trust. I know I ask my partner a bit. My dad's probably a big influence, and so are you. But I think it's about getting your head straight, and that's why I sort of wanted to come on here and sort of share my sort of story a bit, is that if you're not in the right headspace, you don't make the right decisions. And I was sort of, be the first to admit, I was in the right headspace. I had a lot going on. Like, as I said, I think it's really, that's the biggest thing. Like, I was probably worried what everybody thought about me. I had a few other little demons going in, and it wasn't until I actually went and got professional help from someone, and that really helped me just get my heads, make the decisions. I was probably angry about a lot of things, like, as I said, it's probably hard to explain, but until you get it all out there and sort of feel better about yourself, you can't sort of run anything. And you can probably see I know the difference in my business and my personal life now, like over the last 8 months since I've gone and spoke to someone. And I think there's no embarrassment factor about going to see someone. I think there's a lot of people I talk to that need to see someone, and I think it was what the boys are doing here is going to help expose. Like, if you can do an online portal, no one needs to know you go. Like, I didn't really tell many people I go have gone, and it's not embarrassing, but I think that's what you've got to get out there, that people need to get their life in it, right.
And moving forward, Matt, to stay with a clear mind and stay healthy, what sort of rhythms or what sort of things do you do to keep things in check with your health?
Mate, well, it's, good question. Basically, well, that's probably another blow that I've sort of been suffered in the last couple of months as well, mate. So I got diagnosed with a just random bowel cancer. So that sort of was another thing I've been working through at the moment too. Like, I just worked every day like most people. I do 15 to 18 hours a day, and terrible pain in my side, and just happened to go to the doctor randomly, and they found it, and sort of in hospital straight away, 3 weeks, and I started chemo. So that's been another setback. But honestly, I did a couple of YY meetings for a couple of days, and I was, but then, I just got back on the horse, basically. It is what it is, and sort of faced it and what I sort of said to myself, if that happened eight months ago, I'd be in a total different mind space than now. So, and that's what's helped me with that well too. But it's as I said, it's business, whether it's business, health, everyone has hurdles, and it's just how you deal with it. And I think if you get what I just want to put through is, if you get to the right people with the right support networks from friends and family and Mindstar, the support that's out there, I think it will help. And it's definitely helped me. And I don't know, I just want to, if it can help 2 or 3 people, it's my passion at the moment, because I think, I see a lot of people that are sort of where I was, and even a couple of my mates that have had the same issue that I've had previously in my life. So I can see it, and I'm trying to stop it, but you've got to be willing to do it yourself. That's what I'm thinking. But if you can go online yourself and no one knows about it, if that's your embarrassment factor, well, I think that's the help that you're doing.
And Matt, being your best mate too, you are the best publican in the country. Everyone's mate. Everyone's everyone loves having a beer or sharing a yarn with Bowdy. But I think I can see through your veins you've got a massive passion for mental well-being and supporting people how best you can. Is that something you think moving forward that you're being through what you've been through and the stories you've created yourself? Is that something you want to pass on?
Yeah, it's even just people you care about, mate. My dad is exactly the same. My dad is the most respected man I know in the world, but my dad's suffering a bad illness himself, and the major factor in it is depression. And I never ever in my wildest dream would ever think that he would suffer that, but it's obviously he has Parkinson's and he can't do the things he can't do. And what I've seen him too is heartbreaking to me. And as I said, and that's another reason why I went and got help as well, because I could see what it was doing to him and I didn't want it to do to me. But as I said, the total change in me and is just more mental, mate. As I said, I was angry with myself and angry at things I've done. I was worried about what people thought about me, and as I said to Ben earlier, things, people will pick one aspect of your life. I think being yourself is another thing too. I always try and my dad always gave me advice. I'm trying to be a king when I'm a pauper. Trying to be a better person, or trying to be something you're not. And it's just even business. Sometimes silly how I was going. I was selling things cheaper to people just to try and be a good guy, if you know what I mean. And all it does for me is fucking puts me in the poor house. But
you see, Matty, it being your responsibility to make yourself happy.
Oh yeah, exactly right, mate. Yeah,
you just took upon yourself to get yourself right.
Yeah, I agree, mate. As I said, I was in a fantasy world, to be honest, mate. As I said, there's and probably disappointed a lot of people too, to be honest. But I don't know. It's a bit of a wake up call. I think there's two big things, obviously. Seeing my dad as well, but as other people, I've had a lot of friends, even a couple of work colleagues that have been in a bad place, and probably I wasn't there to identify I had a problem. But I think it's a credit to what you boys are doing here. I think it's the right direction, and I think it's where we can even take it further through the schools. I think at the moment I have a lot of friends that the kids are getting bullied at school, and there's a lot of mental health. There's kids are getting bullied for having dandruff, kids are getting bullied for having man boobs, kids are getting bullied for this. I think school is where we've got to start, and it needs to get in there early, because there's a lot of kids struggling in workplaces as well.
As horrific as it sounds, and I know you're the strongest character and you'll punch through this and come out the other end better than ever, but has it made you stop and look at your life? Because I've been a good friend, I've seen you, do 18-hour days, 7 days a week, miss out on a lot of social events and whether it be friends gatherings or birthday parties. Has it made you sort of take stock of life and go, what are my priorities?
Definitely, mate.
Why am I working myself into a grave?
Correct. Well, definitely a good question, mate. Well, to be honest, that business is me, probably, and it's I probably got too involved. I probably didn't want to let it go, mate. I haven't been there for 2 months. I'm still doing a bit of behind the scenes work with orderings and pays and such stuff that I do from home, but it's just running itself, to be honest. And I was so worried because it's been a battle for the last 2 years, to be honest, to get it to where it is. And I'm probably super proud to say it. It's really turned around and going really extremely well, the business, which is beautiful for me, but I was really worried it's just going to go back to where it was. But as I said, I think from the respect that the staff have for me, they're having a go, and I don't know, they're just joining the team, and it's doing well, mate. So to be honest with you, probably people don't even know I'm not even there. So, but it's family aspects, mate. I want to go and do stuff. I want to go and do stuff I want to go to Ashes. I want to go and watch the Masters golf. I want to go to Wimbledon. They're the things, or even just go away for my holidays with my kids.
Have holiday.
Every holiday I've had for the last 3 years, I've got to come back halfway through to do something or this and that. But I'm in a position now that I can just go. So.
And without trying, I suppose, to give business advice, Matt, you probably have thrust it out there on people. Sometimes stepping back and not putting massive emphasis on you being there every minute of the day can be
correct.
Good for your own personal well-being, but also for your business well-being.
It's the other thing, mate. As I was touching on before, I don't know, probably a bit of a nice guy. It's probably one of my bad attributes. I like giving stuff away. When I've had all these functions from previous time, I'd say, oh, I'll do this for you, this for you. Like, people don't expect that. Like, you know, they're not coming to have a function at my place because I'm there. Like, now, like, I've got function packages done, they just pay what it is, and it's, I don't know, it's probably making, it's not there. Like, you know, that's probably another thing is, it's running properly instead of me. That's probably my bad thing. It's probably just trying to be a nice guy, and that's what I said, talking to help when I spoke to you. You know, you don't need to buy friends or things like that. They're your friends because they're your true friends. You don't need to do stuff for them. They're not coming there because I'm there to try and get a deal. They're there to come and support you because they're your friends and want to support you, to be honest. So I get amazing support from groups in Ipswich like Switch On, and I met really good friends through it, as I said.